Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today, folks, I got another one for you by Aquacy, and that is their Aquacy Tradewinds Chronograph. Very clean looking watch, and I chose this one because of the dial. They call this mint. Now, when I think mint, I kind of think more of like a green minty color, like, you know, like a light green. I think that this particular color should be maybe renamed. I would call this spearmint. When we think of spearmint, we think more of like the ice cool blue, you know what I mean? So I think that's a little bit confusing for people. I hope that when somebody goes to their site to buy this, they don't expect this to be more of like a greenish, a light green color. Spearmint would be better. But still, nonetheless, very small gripe here. Their other colors seem to be on point. So let's check it out. So what do we get here? So this is one of their chronograph watches, and a lot of the watches they make are going to be your Submariner homage watches. This one is a little bit different, obviously. But it's still part of their Aquacy line. Hope I'm saying that correctly. I have to refresh myself every time I do a video by Aquacy here. Hang on 1 second. Aquacy. And I'm banking on her saying it right. So, Aquacy, again, I've reviewed one of their watches about 4 years ago. Their 1779 version, I think it is, if I remember correctly. And so they kind of have their other brands or other models kind of focused around that kind of identity, if that makes any sense. Great company, fantastic quality. And I'm very fortunate that they wanted to reach out again and then collaborate, So it's great. If you haven't checked out the other watches I've reviewed by them over the last couple of weeks, we have, of course, another variation of the Submariner homage. Love this Sellita-powered movement. Check that out. Of course, we have their skeletonized Miyota-powered movement. Quite a weight difference there between the two due to that movement. Both fantastic watches. Again, one's Aquacy, one's Oceaniva. Same company, two different brands. So I believe, if I remember correctly, Aquacy was the original brand, and then they came out with the Oceaniva. So pretty cool. Another thing I love about this company is their branding. And for Aquacy, very simple. You got the name and a very small, subtle. I believe that's like a high motto Maori fish hook, I believe is what that is. So cool. It's related to the ocean. It's not a name that just they picked and doesn't make any sense in regards to the design of the watch. It's like, some of these other companies out there, and again, nothing wrong with the quality, but when you think of some of the other companies, as much as I like Pagani, right? Pagani design. Well, to me, Pagani, it almost sounds like it's more of like race car inspired, right? I like the fact that they really thought about their branding and their company name with these watches. It just makes sense. They're dive watches. It should be water related, ocean related, boating related, something. So kudos to them. I mentioned every video I do by them or for them. I love it. Absolutely love it. Another thing I love about this watch is the fact that it is to have this minty, clean, baby blue spearmint color. It's a lot of fun, and it's great to kind of get something that gravitates away from the same old black. Again, have many watches that are black, nothing wrong with them, like them, wear them, but it's fun to get something a little bit different. To me, this is very similar to like a Tiffany blue, but it's not as teal, it's not as like aqua, greenish. This is more leaning towards like a baby blue. Again, spearmint. Let's talk about the specs here. So alright, so this is a quartz chronograph. That might be a deal breaker for some. What I always say, what are my check boxes? What's it made out of? What's the movement? And of course, for most folks, what's the crystal made out of? For a lot of you guys, this is going to have all those check boxes minus that quartz movement. Now again, quartz member is very accurate. There's nothing wrong with quartz. This is you have to deal with changing the battery out at some point. Again, not a huge deal to me, but I am more drawn towards automatic movements just because, for the most part, you don't have to open them up. I don't think it's a deal breaker for anybody if you're considering buying a watch, but I think a lot of times for this price point, we do expect to see an automatic movement. Now, you're paying about $350 for this watch right now. Again, link is in the description. I think that this would have been much better suited sticking with the automatic and going with like a Valjoux. Again, the watch price point is going to be higher, but that definitely appeals to more of your, I think, I don't use the word serious, but more of your, I guess, experienced watch collector. Does it make a difference in accuracy? All these watches, no matter what movements in them, is all going to be, they're all over the place when it comes to a time grapher. When you start to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for watches, you want to spend 10 grand, buy one from a Rolex dealer, right? You're probably going to get a watch from the factory that's been regulated and it's perfect. But in time, they all change, and it's just not really anything I concern myself with. But again, quartz, you never really have to worry about that. They're super accurate. They're more accurate than any automatic watch. Now, a chronograph is basically just a word for a stopwatch. You have 2 function pushers, and what you do is basically just press what I call function pusher number 1. You'll see a large second hand start to tick. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, hard to see on camera, but and then we'll pause it, and then the reset button, you'll see it swing around all the way back to 12 o'clock position. I originally thought this might have been a Ronda movement when I saw the way that it works, but a lot of them are pretty similar. This one is powered by a Miyota. So again, nice thing about this company is that on their automatics, they're using reputable, well-named, respected movements. So you're getting a Miyota quartz movement. A lot of your citizens, a lot of, I believe a lot of citizens, many brands use Miyota. So it's a well-respected, trusted movement, right? You really can't go wrong. But again, some folks might say, oh, well, I only go with automatic. So it would be nice to have a variation. In this company, they're not dumb. They know what they're doing. Hopefully, at some point, they come out with, I'm not sure, it is a chronograph, so of course you're going to need an automatic chronograph, but there are more affordable automatic chronograph movements out there besides the Valjoux. Be nice to have that option, but at this point they don't. So it does have a sapphire synthetic crystal. They say nearly scratch proof. Again, depends on what you're doing. The case thickness 12.8 millimeters. Not really thin, but not really thick. I think it's right in between. Anything under 12 starts to become a little bit too thin for me personally. Great to put under a cuff, but I like a little more of a weight, a little more presence on my wrist. But again, not a deal breaker. I wear them all. I don't discriminate. Checkbox number 1, most important, what's it made out of? 316L stainless steel. That is the most important factor, in my opinion, when buying any watch. What is it made out of? Screw down crown. You do have push-pull function pushers, and I always find it just kind of odd when companies do put a screw-down crown on a watch with non-screw-down function pushers. To me, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a screw-down crown in the first place, because your water resistance is only as good as your weakest link. So again, you still have good water resistance on this. Speaking of, you have a 200-meter water resistance. So you still got it, but I just think, screw-down crown at that point is kind of meaningless. But it does help to protect the crown. You can kind of consider that a perk, right? It's not flopping around anywhere. So that's good. What else? Hour, minute, center seconds, minute scale, date, subdials, 60-second counter, 12-hour counter, and 60-minute counter. Again, remember, it's basically a stopwatch. Folding clasp. I like the fact that they use a push-button deploying clasp. Very clean, simple Aquacy high motto fish hook right in the back. Not a lot of branding on this, nothing on the sides for you folks if that's a concern. And they even took it a step further where on the back, they didn't even put, anything but that giant high matu moray fish hook. So cool. I like it. They put it bam right in the middle, and just a little bit of information on the side. They have Aquacy and Japanese movement, sapphire. The specifics kind of around the case back, which from what I could tell is a screw down case back. Bezel on this, very nice. None of the Aquacy or Oceaniva bezels are anything less than superb. And again, I'm not really picky when it comes to stuff. I always find all bezels pretty good, but this is definitely, I'd say, more on par with watches in the $2,000 range. When I say 2,000, I'm looking at what I have in my collection, some of the things that I've really had a lot of time to play with. When I look at like my Aquadive, that's $2,000. The bezel on this, I think the best thing I could say about the Aquadive is the lume compared to other brands. But lume on this, it's going to be pretty decent. I mean, I'm just cupping my hand right now, and it's glowing pretty well, and we're just inside my office, so not even in direct sunlight. So they're pretty good. They really make a pretty well-rounded, nice quality watch. Again, this would be a very substantial value if it did have an automatic movement for the price point. But when you're comparing this to other brands like Citizen, Movado, brands you're going to find in your brick and mortar stores, we're on par with quality, and we're on par with price point. So again, that don't mean as a general set rule. There's different prices all over the place, but I think it's a great value, and I think that this is definitely, anybody who buys this is going to be very happy with what you're getting for your money. So fantastic. That's really about the only specifics we need, other than case size. 42 millimeters, pretty standard. Most of the Aquacy and Oceaniva watches are that 42 millimeter size, and it is really, honestly, you know, as much as I enjoy huge watches, and I wear, you know, all different, I enjoy small watches too, but you know, that is, I think, if we look at, you know, the most of the population, that's a safe size. You know, not everybody likes 50 millimeter watches. My dad, you know, he's got a couple. I think he's got an Android and a Breitling Super Avenger. It's pretty chunky. You know, he wears the Submariner Homage the most. It's 38 millimeter. That's the perfect size for him. So remember, everybody has their own preferences. I generally wear a lot of smaller watches most of the time, to be honest with you now. Doesn't mean my tastes have changed. I've always liked all watches, all different sizes. I do not discriminate. But a lot of times, I just want something just kind of simple, not too heavy. Again, none of these things like cause me discomfort. I'm not whining about it. I'm not crying about it. It just really comes down to my mood. Now, as far as the case with this watch, it does come with kind of more of an unorthodox case. A lot of times, companies are sending you either a big cardboard box or they're sending you, you know, the dive cases. We've seen them time and time again. So I like that Aquacy actually included this just kind of basic leather kind of sleeve for it. And, you know, some of you might be saying, oh, well, you know, I'd like to get a box. You know, I know when you're getting the dive cases, whether it be a single dive case or a giant 8-slot, yeah, that's cool, but you know, honestly, they just take up a lot of room, and when do you actually really use it? Something like this is actually pretty practical. I mean, because you have a little slot here, you can keep, you know, your warranty card in here, and a polishing cloth, of course, and then just slide your watch right in the side. Just, you know, very simple. I don't mean to insult your intelligence here, but, you know, just as an example, you know, just slide it in there. It gives it a layer of protection. Fold it over, wrap it around. Very basic. But, you know, something like this is great to travel. I can tell you a number of times I wanted to bring, you know, a couple watches with me, and I'm either wrapping them in a towel. This is great. Wrap them in this, throw them in your suitcase. You have an element of protection there. And this is also nice if you do keep your watches in a drawer or not on display in a safe. Now, when you have as many as I have, you know, I use I use pool noodles, cut and put them around there, but you have to get a little more creative in how you store them. But for most people, something like this is great. It's protected, easy to open up. It's very, you know, it's very well thought out, very clean. It's not, you know, it's not over the top, but it's nice that they're giving you something a little bit different than what a lot of other companies are giving you. You know, I can't tell you, I'm just really tired of getting the plain old cardboard box that basically ends up in the garbage can because I have no room for it anymore. And what am I going to do with it, you know? I'm not going to display them. I don't want to have, you know, 170, 180 boxes all over the place. So a lot of times they get thrown away unless it's like a dive case I can repurpose, or I just don't have the heart to get rid of it, you know? So this is great, very functional, very usable. And, you know, the only thing I'd like to see is maybe make these a little bit larger. Take 3 watches. I think 3 watches, again, it's personal opinion, but 3 watches kind of, when I'm going on vacation, I like to bring 3. So it would be nice to be able to have just an extra slot in here. They do have this 2 slots. So you can actually, you know, take this stuff out. You know, I always throw away the warranty card and all that anyway. But, you know, you can use it for 2 watches. Still pretty cool. Make it for 3. I think it'd just be even more practical. So, yeah. Awesome watch, awesome case, awesome company. They think about everything. So, without further ado, let's throw on the wrist. Now, I'm about 5'7". I weigh about 185 pounds, and I have a 7-inch wrist. So, this is what I watch, 42 millimeter by Aquacy. Looks like a guy my size, my height, my weight. And you guys, you know, I don't always match my watch to my attire, but it is pretty nice to be able to do that, whether I'm wearing a black shirt or whatnot, or, you know, in this case, beautiful summertime weather. You know, it's been beautiful here. You know, baby blue comes out in the summertime. This watch just matches perfect. You know, and I know that this channel, I don't do a lot of like men's style and that kind of stuff. And a lot of times I don't, because, you know, style is subjective, you know, and I never want to tell a grown-ass man, you know, that you should dress like me because this is the way only style. You know, I think you should be your own person. Do what makes you happy. Wear what you enjoy. It doesn't matter what it is or how outlandish or how subtle it is. Always be the person you want to be and be proud of that, you know. But I do, you know, I do like to color coordinate, accessorize. I'm very clean. I'm organized. And so a lot of times I just don't, when I watch guys who are doing, you know, teaching men's fashion, it's like, we're grown men, you know. I don't need to teach you grown men fashion. But if you like to color coordinate a little bit, this goes perfect with the baby blue. So, great looking watch, love it. And when we compare it to other watches in my collection, I don't have a lot of baby blue, and now I got two by more of I'll just hit you with it again here. Definitely check this one out, the Oceaniva. Just this very it is aqua, but again, just I love these summer colors. And when it comes to dive watches, you know, once you get the blacks and you know the navy blues, your Batmans, you know, I think that all of us who enjoy a variety in our collection, and I know you guys, if you watch me for a while and you like the Invictas and you like the stuff I'm sharing with you guys, I think we all get to the point where we're like, hey, you know, how many black-faced watches do you want? You know, it's really nice to be able to accessorize and to be able to have, you know, a variety in your collection. And I like the fact that Oceaniva and Aquacy, they definitely give you that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank Aquacy for their generosity and collaborating with Fat Cat Collections again. I hope to collaborate with them again on a fourth watch, and down the road even more. You know, it's always fun to be able to get watches and add them to my collection, share them with you guys, help the company boost sales. Of course, that's the name of the game. And ultimately, in addition to that, you know, it's companies only boost sales and are successful if they're making a good quality product. And sometimes you need people like YouTube influencers and people, or even not even me, but people that you might know who bought a watch, like my buddy. You know, he wears a watch now because of watching me, you know, and he enjoys it. So, whereas before, not so much. So, wherever you get a little inspiration from, wherever you can get information from, you know, if you have a friend who has this particular watch and you say, oh, he's had good luck with it, he likes it, I've tried it, I enjoy it, then buy it, you know. But there's lots of great watches out there, and to be honest with you, there's not a lot of garbage. Don't listen to some of these nonsense guys out there with using words like shitter and all this stuff. There's not much, you know, when you're getting into watches that are 30, 40 bucks, yeah, there's a difference in quality. But once you're getting to watches like this, you know, there isn't much good when you start going to the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. It's really just a waste of money. But always, you know, be yourself, wear what you like, and definitely add this bad boy to your collection. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Do subscribe to the channel. Have a great day, and take care.